You meet her at a friend's asado, standing by the grill arguing with someone about whether the plantains are ready. Her hands move when she talks. Fast, like punctuation marks in the air. She catches you staring and doesn't look away first. You do. 2 weeks later, you're texting her mi amor, without knowing why, because apparently that's just how she talks now. To you, to her cousin, to the dog sitting by the door. You don't ask any real questions. You just quietly enjoy it. The first date, you show up in shorts. Big mistake. She's in heels and a dress that took visible effort, hair done, perfume you can still smell 3 days later. You realize instantly you've underestimated the assignment. You go home, change into an actual collared shirt, and never make that mistake again. Meeting her family happens embarrassingly fast. 3 weeks in, you're at her mother's apartment eating lunch you didn't know you'd been invited to. Her mother, her aunt, 2 cousins, and a grandmother who studies your face like she's appraising a used car. Nobody asked your intentions directly. They didn't need to. The interrogation happens through side comments and long pauses that somehow mean everything. You learn her mother calls her 3 times a day, minimum, not for emergencies, just to talk. About nothing. About everything. You ask what they could possibly discuss for 45 minutes at 11 in the morning on a random Tuesday. She looks at you like you asked why she breathes air. Food becomes a language you didn't know you needed to learn. Breakfast is arepas with cheese. No negotiation. No substitutions. Sunday lunch is bandeja paisa, and you think you understand portion sizes until a plate the size of a hubcap lands in front of you. Beans, rice, ground beef, chicharrón, a fried egg, sweet plantain, avocado, and an entire second arepa balanced on top like it's not already enough food to end a grown man. You eat it all anyway. You regret nothing until an hour later, lying on a couch, unable to move. Coffee isn't a drink here. It's a social contract. Someone offers you tinto, a small, strong black coffee, and you learn fast that saying no is basically an insult you don't fully understand yet but definitely just committed. You start drinking 4 a day. Your heart rate has strong opinions about this new arrangement. Her father doesn't say much to you at first. He watches. He nods once when you help clear the table without being asked. That single nod feels like winning an actual medal. You didn't know you were competing for anything, but you're relieved you placed somewhere. The dancing arrives before you're anywhere near ready for it. Someone puts on salsa at a cousin's birthday and the whole room transforms into people who've apparently been training for this their entire lives. She grabs your hand. You have 2 left feet and a body that simply does not do this. She doesn't care. She spins you, corrects your hips with her hands, laughs when you step on her foot, and somehow by the end of the song you've learned 4 moves you'll never remember once sober. Vallenato comes next, then cumbia. Then something with an accordion that makes everyone over 60 get up and outdance everyone under 30 without breaking a sweat. You realize quickly that silence is not a Colombian love language. Music plays constantly, in the kitchen, in the car, in the shower somehow. You used to enjoy quiet mornings. Now, mornings arrive with a soundtrack and a running commentary on a cousin's ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend. A woman you've genuinely never met and now holds strong opinions about anyway. Her sense of time operates on its own private physics. 5 minutes means 20. Easily. I'm on my way often means she hasn't left the house yet. You learn to stop setting your watch to her schedule and start setting it to Colombian time instead. A concept that took you months to trust and that you now defend to your own family like you personally invented it. The family group chat is chaos, delivered in 3 languages, one of which is apparently just voice notes. Someone sends a 2-minute voice memo instead of a text that would have taken 10 seconds to read. You ask why. She tells you that writing feels cold, distant, impersonal. You start sending voice notes too, eventually. Your friends are fairly convinced you've joined something. Somewhere around month 3, you get invited to a cousin's quinceañera, except it's not really a party, it's an operation. The dress alone took 4 months to make. There's a choreographed dance the whole family rehearsed for weeks that you somehow get pulled into as a last-minute backup partner. You mess up the count twice. Nobody minds at all. Everyone's too busy filming it on 3 different phones at once. each person angling for the one perfect shot to post proudly the next morning. Gift-giving turns out to be its own quiet competition. You show up to a birthday with flowers, thinking that covers it. Someone else brings a cake. Someone else brings a mariachi-adjacent trio nobody quite explains. And someone else hires actual musicians to serenade the birthday girl on her own porch at 9 at night. You watch neighbors lean out their windows to listen. Nobody complains about the noise. Apparently that would be unthinkable. Around month 4, the meddling starts in earnest, gently at first. Her aunt has opinions about your job. Her mother has opinions about your haircut, delivered kindly but repeatedly. Someone's cousin's husband gives you unsolicited investment advice, delivered with the total confidence of a man who owns exactly 0 property. Everyone means well. Everyone is also, somehow, always a little bit right, which is honestly the most annoying part of all. You get sick once, nothing dramatic, just a bad cold that knocks you flat. Within 2 hours, her mother has sent soup over, carried by someone's cousin acting as the delivery driver. You didn't ask for this. You barely told anyone besides her. Word traveled anyway, through some invisible network you will never fully map out or understand. The affection is loud and constant, and takes real getting used to. Every hello is a hug and a kiss on the cheek. Every relative, every single time, no exceptions, including total strangers you're meeting for the first time at a party full of 40 people you don't know. Your reserved upbringing did not prepare you for this much physical warmth delivered at this consistent volume. Then comes the first real fight. It's loud. It's about something small, whose turn it was to call the landlord. And within minutes, it's escalated into a full production, complete with hand gestures and volume. You're certain the neighbors can hear through the walls. You're mortified. She's not. 20 minutes later, she's asking what you want for dinner, like the fight simply evaporated into the air it was shouted into. You're still recovering emotionally. She's already fully moved on. Her grandmother once told her that couples who never fight loudly are usually hiding something serious. You've slowly started to believe there might be something real to that theory. One Saturday, without much warning, the whole extended family piles into 3 cars and drives out to a river outside the city. Someone hauls a massive pot, someone else hauls firewood, and by noon there's a full sancocho bubbling over an open flame, while kids swim and uncles argue about soccer scores from a decade ago. Nobody planned this on paper. It just happened, the way these things always seem to happen. Like the family has some shared instinct for spontaneous gathering that you're only now starting to develop yourself. You pick up Spanish faster than expected, mostly slang, mostly wrong at first attempt. You use a word you thought meant one thing at a family dinner, and the whole table goes silent before erupting into laughter. Nobody bothers explaining what you actually said. You still don't fully know to this day. You've made a fragile peace with that mystery, the same way you've made peace with a dozen other small mysteries that seem to define life inside this family, each one arriving quietly. Each one somehow becoming normal within a matter of weeks. Christmas, or really the entire December stretch, nearly breaks you completely. Novenas start on the 16th, 9 straight nights of prayer, snacks, and family gathering that somehow gets louder with each passing night instead of quieter. Then Dia de las Velitas lights up the whole street with candles you personally helped set out along the curb. Then Christmas Eve dinner runs well past midnight, because nobody eats a bite until the countdown hits exactly 12. You've never consumed this much food on this little sleep in one single stretch of your life, and somehow, you're already looking forward to doing it again next year. Around the 8-month mark, something shifts without you fully noticing it happening in real time. You stop translating her family's affection through your own cultural lens, and simply start receiving it as it is. Her cousin's kids call you Tio, before you're technically anything official on paper. You don't bother correcting them. You kind of secretly love it. Your own friends start noticing the shift in you. You're louder in group chats now, quicker to hug hello, oddly emotional about soccer matches involving teams you couldn't have named a year earlier. One of them asks, half joking, if you've been recruited into something. You laugh and tell him it's basically a cult, except the initiation involves 7 kinds of soup and everyone actually likes you by the end of it. A job offer comes in from another city. Better money. A genuine step up on paper. You mention it carefully over dinner, testing the water. She goes quiet. The bad kind of quiet. She asks if it's actually what you want, deep down. You think about the noise, the food, the dancing you're still objectively bad at. Her mother's soup showing up uninvited the moment you're sick. The sheer volume of people who now consider you fully theirs. You picture Sunday lunches without the noise, holidays without the candles lining the curb, mornings without a soundtrack playing from somewhere in the house. None of it sounds like a life you actually want. You realize you don't want to find out what your life looks like without any of it. You turn the offer down without much hesitation. Her father shakes your hand the following Sunday. Firm grip, direct eye contact, no words needed at all. You understand exactly what that handshake means. Years from now, someone who's never dated into a Colombian family will ask if the noise, the constant togetherness, the nonstop food ever gets genuinely exhausting. You'll think about it honestly for a second, turning it over. Then, you'll remember the night your own mother took a bad fall, and her entire family showed up at the hospital before you'd even finished making your calls. They brought food nobody asked for. They sat with your family so no one was left alone in a waiting room at 2 a.m. They treated your mother like she was already theirs, because to them, by that point, she already was. That's when you finally understand what dating her actually turned into over time. It was never just a relationship confined to the two of you. It was an entire orbit you got slowly pulled into, loud and warm and completely relentless. And somewhere along the way, you stopped resisting the pull entirely and just let yourself become part of it for good. You didn't just date a Colombian woman. You joined a family that shows up uninvited with soup, dances, circles around you at every single party, and somehow, impossibly, makes you miss the noise the very second it finally goes quiet.